Hey Siri, play the SciFi Pubcast.
Welcome to the SciFi Pubcast. Come for a drink, but stay for the speculation. On today's show, we talk parenting in Star Wars. Spoiler alert, it could be better. We are joined on this episode by Randal Graham, the novelist of Beforelife and a friend of the show. So grab a drink and blame it on the kids. We don't. None of us have kids. This is the SciFi Pubcast. Greetings, welcome to the SciFi Pubcast, the podcast that tries to be a pub, and perhaps someday a pub that tries to be a podcast. And I'm Joel, I'm at the bar, I'm looking around, I'm really hungover today, I apologize for that. Oh my god, there's lots of people in this place. Carrie, is that you?
No, it's not me, I'm a figment of your imagination.
Yes, that's it. Probably it is actually how I feel right now. And we also have, who's that back in the kitchen? Derek, you there?
Wait, we let him out of the kitchen?
Yeah, so Derek's there. And of course, we have our semi-regular hosts back for this episode, Dr. Randal Graham. Hi, Randal.
Good afternoon, everybody.
We miss you, Randal. You make our show.
Well, thank you very much. It's nice to be back. Thank you for having me.
Okay. So what's been happening, guys?
Oh, not much. I've just been doing homework for other stuff and catching up on. I've been binging stuff off the DC Universe app since it dropped last week. So I'm almost done with Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, well, excellent. Yeah, but you do some other podcasts, right, Carrie?
Yeah, I do the Cape Chronicles, which is basically going chronologically through all superhero movies, starting with the 78 Superman. This weekend we're doing The Crow. And we may be out of the 90s by the end of the year. And then I do a show called DC Talk, which is basically all DC Comics news all the time.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Doesn't the app only have half of the show right now?
What do you mean half of the show?
I thought I read that they only have volumes 1 and 2 up out of the 4.
Out of the 4 of what?
Of Batman the Animated Series.
No, they have the whole thing.
Oh, I guess it was just that they only have the first 2 in HD.
That I don't know. I'm watching it off of my computer, so and sometimes off my phone, so I can't always tell.
Yeah, I love it. We're doing introductions, and we went down a rabbit hole already. Okay, go ahead, Randal.
Shocking.
Okay. Randal, you were saying something?
No, I wasn't at all, actually.
Probably the smartest move out.
Maybe you heard my stuttering voice. I was actually in the middle of rewatching Batman myself on Amazon Prime when they swiped it away. No, I can't.
Oh, well.
It's DC app once they actually have shows on it.
DC Universe is only $75 a year or $7.99 a month. And,
yeah, I'm gonna wait till there's actually new
series,
shows on it, and then I'll get it for a month.
Well, Titan starts in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm more interested in Young Justice.
Yeah, that too.
I'm more interested in parenting in Star Wars, which is the topic of the show. But so what? Hey,
right. We had a reason for recording, didn't we?
Yes, but before we get there, Derek, how's the kitchen?
It's great. I am offering Yoda bread in theme with today's show. It's a little green, little sour and slimy, but it's what I imagine Yoda would taste like if you licked him. And if you come back next week, it's probably going to be Vader bread at that point because I think it'll turn black by then. And I don't know what it's going to taste like, but I know it's going to taste evil.
That's.
I'm afraid. I'm very afraid.
That's precious. So, Randal, you glad you're back?
Yeah,
Or
no,
some
I'm having
bread.
a good time so far. I
feel like I should apologize, Randall.
I'll skip the bread today. Thank you very much. I haven't yet tried Derek's cooking, but I'm easing my way in.
Yeah. And for those who are listening to the show for the first time, Randal is a published novelist. He published a book called Beforelife. Go buy it today and support Randal's writing career. How's that for output?
Thanks very much. That's lovely. And I just crossed the 100,000 word threshold in the sequel to Beforelife.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
When do you have to get into the publisher?
It's not due till July, but I should probably finish it by Halloween.
Okay.
Now, is that the first draft or the editing?
That's my first draft,
Okay.
but I'll then edit it until about Christmas time, and then it should be done.
Fantastic. With me, let's see. I've been spending a lot of time again down in Arizona visiting my girlfriend, Christine. By the way, since this show doesn't have commercials, let me just plug her little thing. She's big into...
Whoa, wait, whoa.
Okay, that went south real fast.
I love the show.
That went south fast.
That was pretty explicit for a family show, Joel.
This is not a
For a
family
family show? What?
Well, we will be soon.
Oh, God.
Dear gods.
Yeah, that's not what I meant. Yeah. No, it got me to the point of this idea of parenting. This actually was her idea because I was struggling for some topic ideas, and she suggested parenting. Not in the sci-fi context because she's not really into sci-fi. Actually, she's not into sci-fi at all. So I'm very confident she's not listening to the show right now. But yeah, it's her idea. She should get full credits. And
She has to listen to this episode, though.
Yeah.
By plugging her little thing.
Maybe as a cautionary tale for those of us who don't have kids, talking about parenting
yeah,
in any context.
the irony hasn't escaped me that all four of us are not parents. So yeah,
Well, I
we're
had a tapeworm once for a while.
yeah. There's that. Yeah. Derek's tapeworm, great. Like I was trying to say a couple minutes ago. So Christine has this Instagram account called Very Vital Christine, and she might change it to Very Vital's I think it's Bear and Style, and she basically posts things about bear and style and fashion. So which is probably not the demographic of the people who listen to this podcast, but if you're into it, please find her on Instagram and follow her. How's that? Okay, that's the show.
I follow Christine on Instagram, and it's actually a really good account.
Oh, good. Yeah, thank you for that. I'm just trying to picture Randal and reading about style. Yeah, I can see that.
Wait a second.
Randall, did you subscribe to the wrong Instagram account?
It may have been an accident.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. Let me say it this way. Like most things in life, I blame all my problems on my parents. Because being a parent is critical to a child's upbringing. And I'm looking at Star Wars, and I think there's something to be said about looking at Star Wars as just one bad parenting episode after another.
That explains why there's so many wars all the time.
I know. It's like
Well, it's in the name, Derek. It's implied that there are wars.
And why so many people turn to the dark side.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. So there's a lot of highlights we can hit on, and there's lots in the movies, of course, but also in the books, both canon and legacy. But I think we'd be remiss if we don't start from the main storyline, which is, of course, the Skywalker saga. What do you guys think?
I have one rule that arises related to parenting in the Skywalker saga, and that is, if you have twins, make sure they know they're related. Otherwise, they might make out.
Yes, that's. Yeah, see, that's a parenting fail right there. Oof.
Well, fortunately, Jason and Jaina always knew they were related, but that's Legends.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of defeated the letting Luke and Leia know that they were related beforehand kind of defeats the purpose of hiding Leia. But, still a good piece of advice.
So they had to make out for the good of the galaxy?
No. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Was that Luke's pickup line?
I was going to say Derek has used that line before.
I don't even want to consider that.
But in truth, who hasn't really? Yeah. Okay. So let's start with who we actually know. Shima, is that how you pronounce it? Shmeen. Oh my God. I need another pint of Guinness in me. Yeah. Sheem. Yes. So. Where's the father in all of this? Isn't that important?
We're talking Anakin now?
Yeah, Anakin.
Well, if you go by the novel Darth Plagueis, which is 95% canon now, he was created by the Force as a reaction to Darth Plagueis' and Sidious's attempt to wrest control of the Force from the would it be the cosmic force? Yeah. So Darth Sidious and Plagueis did this Sith ceremony where they tried to take control of the Force to guide destiny and life. And there was this strange like counter explosion when they tried to do it. And they never directly say it, but I've read the book a few times. And to me at this point, the interpretation is clear that the Force reacted against them by creating Anakin to bring about their downfall.
Oh, so I thought it was like a Jesus Christ thing, but okay, that works. Okay.
Yeah, well, some people interpret it that it was Plagueis and Sidious who created Anakin, but I think that the Force created Anakin to stop them, not that they did it, but it created it, as the counterpoint of them.
It was a counteraction. It's like,
Yeah.
this is the ultimate don't mess with Mother Nature or don't mess with the Force type
The
thing.
Force strikes back.
Yeah, someone's going
Yes.
to be conceived somehow. Yeah.
I remember speaking to someone, this was a long time ago before, we even had the Plagueis novel, but there was a theory going around at some point that Palpatine was somehow Anakin's father.
Well, the rough draft of Revenge of the Sith does flat out state that Palpatine tells Anakin he created him through the Force, but then Lucas decided to take that out in subsequent drafts.
Ah.
Oh, there you go.
You can see it in the book, The Making of Revenge of the Sith, which I recently read.
Ah.
I feel like I'm the
JW
only
written-
one who doesn't take it for granted that everyone's telling the truth whenever these parentage things are revealed in Star Wars. I mean, seriously, when I was a kid and Darth Vader comes out with "I am your father," I thought like this is at least open to question that he might be lying because he's a bad guy. And then when Shmi said that Anakin had no father, I thought, well, maybe she's just a big partier and doesn't want to admit to that. But it's interesting that we just it turns out that we take it as gospel. Whoever says they are the parent of anyone else, we just that's got to be the truth.
But
Lucas actually met with child psychologists after Empire came out, and they told him that children refused to believe that Vader was telling the truth, which is why he added the line in Return of the Jedi of Yoda explicitly saying that Vader is your father, because many young children just refused to believe it.
Yeah, I didn't believe it at all. It's interesting. I saw the movie with my dad, oddly enough, and Dad straight up believed it immediately. And I thought, well, no, Vader's lying. He's a bad guy.
well, to jump fandoms, but hey, this is the kind of podcast we're on. But it's the line from Hook. It's like, why would I lie? The truth is far too much fun.
I'm personally waiting for the DNA test to happen.
Well, you could try that too.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for the midichlorian test.
Yeah, midichlorians are bad fathers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we've all agreed on that.
Yeah. And just imagine being Anakin as a kid. Yeah, you can look up to his mother, who's a slave, and sure that Anakin was a bright child, very good at building things like robots and things like pod racers. But where's the father figure in Anakin's life? Watto?
I don't know that he really had one.
Maybe 3PO. He built his father.
Oh, God.
That's creepy.
That is really creepy. So, look at this. Of course, Anakin, when he grew up, he became a bit damaged and broken as an adult. Eventually turned to the dark side and committed mass genocide. But besides that, I can see why. I don't know. Perhaps if you're listening to the show and you're a psychologist and you want to weigh in, please send us a message.
Actually, slight aside about 3PO, that suddenly makes sense to me now because a male child raised by women will obviously grow up to be, effeminate. And so he created 3PO, who is male but extremely effeminate. So that kind of makes sense because he was raised by a woman.
I think he's just British. I also don't accept it as an axiom that a man raised by women will grow up to be particularly effeminate. I don't know that we can take that as settled in stone.
I mean, that's my personal experience, but yeah, there's obviously different strokes for different folks.
Oh, God, that's too funny. I don't know where to go from there.
Well, we can talk about Shmi giving up her son to some passing dude with a lady shaver for a comm device.
Yeah, there's that. But, perhaps she is a party girl and she just wanted to spend more time at the parties. Got me.
Yeah, people keep giving up their children to the Jedi, and we've all seen what happens to the younglings. It just seems like a generally bad idea. These Jedi are people who are not allowed to become parents, but somehow people trust them with their kids.
Exactly. And look how they actually treat, the younglings. And what is like living in a temple? Like, what's that all about? What type of life is it? Yeah, sure, they get to learn to read and write and how to use a laser sword, but where's the parenting? Where's the skills? Where's the personal touch?
Yoda. He personally trains every class of younglings. And Yoda has got to be awesome for a young kid. It's like this cute little froggy guy who's teaching you how to use the Force and talking funny, and he's like smaller than you are.
I wonder if younglings grow up with bad grammar because of exposure to Yoda.
He doesn't teach the basic class.
Oh God.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like a historical precedent, though. I mean, consider all the tales of kids being dropped off in monasteries and stuff like that, or kids being raised by the church. It's kind of a similar dynamic, isn't it? Not that I would know.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that going on, and just not in Christianity, you get that a lot in Buddhism, and I can see that. It's a way to have the child have a better life and have some security of person.
Right.
Or in the case of Star Wars, they're going to die horribly.
Well, in most of the books,
that was only in episode 3, though. I mean,
yeah,
the Jedi had no way of knowing all the younglings were going to die before Anakin went and killed them all.
True, but then again, is there many Jedis left? Maybe one. Who knows? They don't. Yeah, it's a dangerous life choice, I would think.
Well, the way the books portray it, most people on planets view the Jedi as kind of these, celebrity angels who are, noble and selfless and perfect. And so to give up your child to be a Jedi is like the greatest honor. And then obviously some people resent it and view them as baby snatchers. There's which book is it? I think it's Red Harvest, which is like a ancient Old Republic novel, which has I think the sister was given up to the Jedi and the brother wasn't, and the brother hated and resented the Jedi for doing it. So
Red Harvest was one of the zombie apocalypse.
Yes, it was.
Books.
Yes. Yeah, and I believe, I mean, I could be getting my books messed up, but some of them, a lot of people viewed them as an honor to give it up, and some people resented it. And I think most of the people that gave up their children were poor, impoverished people. There were very few rich folks like Count Dooku who went with it. So basically, you could kind of look at it as like a poor person joining the military for a better career. The only difference is it's a baby, so it's the parent making the decision.
Yeah, I just wonder where social services is with all this stuff. What are the laws governing this? I don't know.
It's like sending your kid to a boarding school where there's going to be use of force.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. Yes, that's right. The Jedi Temple is just one very rich boarding school. Yes.
The Star Wars universe does seem to be pretty negligent towards children in general, because in the EU books you see kids who are like 12 and 13 flying starfighters and even going to war. So they don't seem to have the same kinds of laws and moralities, or either that or they just consider a child to be an adult at a much younger age than we do.
Yeah, this whole notion of child soldiers, which is only within the last several decades, that's bad. To go back to the 19th century, the 18th century, or even before that, you join the army when you were 10 years old, become a drummer's boy, or you go on a ship and become a cabin boy, that type of stuff.
It's when you mention child soldiers, it reminds me the only person I can think of offhand in the Star Wars universe who really wanted to be a parent was Jango Fett, who wanted one of his unaltered clones to be given to him so he could raise it as a child. Every other kid we know of being born seems to be some sort of accident or miracle or weird happening.
Good point.
Yeah. And look at Jango. He's the father of how many offspring?
He's father of the year, right?
And I wonder if genetically he was unable to hit any targets. And he passed that on to his children.
Oh,
well,
God.
I mean, there is the line from Rebels, as Rex is making fun of how the stormtroopers have no aim. I think by that point only maybe I think by that point they're usually they're using actual recruits and not clones. So they're not the troops are no longer vat grown.
Yeah.
See, I thought it all made perfect sense because stormtroopers can't hit anyone because they were all cloned from a guy who had to have a clone for a child because he was shooting blanks.
There you go. It's one big fet.
Nice.
Okay.
Another instance of child abuse in Star Wars is, according to the holiday special at least, naming conventions among Wookiees.
Oh, God. Oh, so Randal?
Itchy, Chewy, Lumpy. These are the names that Wookiee parents have given their children.
Well, if you go by the books, there's Loey, and Knights of the Old Republic. There's Zalbar. So
Bless you.
Yes.
thank you.
I actually rewatched a big chunk of the holiday special as research for today's episode, so
Apologies.
that's falling on your sword for the team.
And it's available on YouTube. Okay.
It is.
Oh, wow. That's something else.
A somewhat related issue to parenting in Star Wars is the role of aunts and uncles in Star Wars raising their kids. I mean, Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, we saw what happened with them.
And to steal a joke that Derek made offline, they're a really hot couple.
Oh, nice. And then we see what happens when Uncle Luke takes over the care of Ben Solo.
Well, I mean, okay, we don't really see a whole lot of that because we're given vague bits and pieces, and we're given a lot of he said stuff, but there isn't a whole lot of specifics about what happened, and we don't know how soon Snoke got his claws into Ben Solo. So,
but in both instances, it resulted in the nephew growing up and then killing or at least dismembering his dad.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I think there's a lesson to be learned there somewhere.
Yeah, don't take in your nieces and nephews.
I think the novelization of Last Jedi said that Snoke had been in Ben's mind since he was like a child, maybe even a baby.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you look at it, like you take, Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen, they provided for Luke Skywalker all those years, right? So they're good parents that way. And just unfortunately, circumstances happened that ended with their loss of life in a horrible manner by stormtroopers. Yeah.
That's right. They introduced his blue milk habit.
Absolutely, right? We learn things from the people who raise us.
Wow.
Yeah. Who can't use blue milk? Yeah, it's on a logo, for God's sake.
Okay.
Yeah,
It'll go great with my green bread.
Yeah. It's a very colorful kitchen. There's also Luke Skywalker, right? So Luke Skywalker is kind of took his nephew on his wing, and things didn't happen very, very well, did they?
No.
No.
Not at all.
And of course, we have to talk about Leia and Han because, quite frankly, I don't think either one of them are great parents. You have one guy who's he's a rogue and he's a gambler and like he has his own country and western song. Basically, he's one big country and western song, and you have Leia who's too busy playing politics.
Well, and again, we don't know very much about that. The only times we get to see Leia and Han being parents is in Empire's End and a little bit in Last Shot. That's it. We don't actually get to see them as parents all that much.
Yeah.
And I thought they did a pretty good job in Last Shot. Han was, taking care of little Kylo pretty well, and then when he had to go, Leia was like, you go do what you need to do. We'll be here. I thought that was a pretty positive portrayal, all things considered.
So why did Ben go wrong? Please don't. Please, Snoke. Because
I don't know.
Please don't.
I really don't know.
Yeah. Please don't say free will. Okay. But I don't know. There's that.
They still haven't really explained all of that. So.
And another very good angle about parenting in Star Wars is, of course, adoption. Bail Organa and his wife who took in Leia. And yeah, sure, he was involved in rebellion and everything, and he was an expert spy person, and he brought Leia into that world. But he also provided her with security and shelter up to the point where, of course, the planet gets blown up to.
I would actually say that Bail and Breha are the best parents in Star Wars, and that was especially pointed out in the novel Leia, Princess of Alderaan, which is a really good book and really does a wonderful job of fleshing out Bail and Breha's characters, and it really makes you sad for when they die, because they really were like good, noble, sweet people.
Although I'm going to say another contender for Father of the Year in Star Wars has to be Chewie, because look at the lengths he went to get back for Life Day.
Well, and look at the lengths he went to get back to Kashyyyk in Life Debt.
Yeah,
I mean, they had to liberate the entire. He liberated the entire planet just to find his son.
Yeah, the new Disney canon Chewbacca does seem a lot more interested in actually going back to his family and his home planet, whereas in the Legends EU, he was just always with Han the whole time, and they would just like occasionally take a vacation to Kashyyyk.
Yeah, he's trying to avoid his wife.
I don't know, because I had the impression in Legends that Kashyyyk was never actually occupied, so they were a little more free to come and go. And there's the A.C. Crispin trilogy where they're going back and forth a lot. They're going back and forth to Kashyyyk a couple of times between stuff. They go back, I think, for Chewie's wedding. I could be wrong.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, I think in the old EU it was more about, I don't know if the Imperials ever occupied Kashyyyk. They would just raid it for slaves, or the Transhindoans would raid it and sell them to the Imperials.
I think Randall's going for a scotch.
Gin and tonic.
Randall, are you okay?
I'm good. I honestly haven't read any of the Star Wars books since the Admiral Thrawn series. I read the Admiral Thrawn ones when they came out, and that was a million years ago, and since then haven't kept up.
Well, you're about 150 behind.
This is why I'm not on staff. Just a guess.
You have your own books, right? So
yeah, fair enough. Well, Derek manages both.
Yeah,
I'm not going there.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure many more people have read your books than mine, though, Randall.
I signed them as mandatory reading.
You should see his nonfiction books.
Yeah, no, you really shouldn't.
Okay, I know, Derek, you did some research for this episode, didn't you?
Yeah. On the subject of the Hutts, I don't know if this is still true in Disney canon, but in the EU, they were actually hermaphrodites. They had female and male sex organs, and they basically chose their gender and produced their own child. So I think that basically the generic default form was male, and then when they chose to have a child, they would become female and give birth to the child without being I guess they inseminated themselves. That was actually a major point of the A.C. Crispin Origin of Han Solo trilogy. So I always thought that was interesting.
There you go. Yes, Derek is researching Hutt's sex stuff. Good, excellent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, they have sex with themselves.
Oh, there you go. Yes.
There's got to be a website for that.
And there were even some weirder ones I'd never even heard of, like the Z-Deck have 180 different gendered sexes. So I don't know how that works out. The X-Ting change their sex based on hormonal cycles. The Falordi, like the Hutts, were asexual and could reproduce on their own. The Racrians had a third gender called facilitator drones, and the Phoenicians had a third gender called Thos.
So you could just be making all of this up, and I would believe you.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say
words.
Hey, we don't want a slugfest happening here, okay?
Nice. I'm just still getting over the idea of Jabba screwing himself.
Like, yeah, why would he leave the house? I don't know. Okay.
It is kind of funny, though, that the way the Hutts will lust after human and Twi'lek females when they themselves are genderless. You know, it's like, what are they getting out of that exactly? because I mean, obviously they enjoy dominating and enslaving and torturing others, but they seem to have an actual sexual attraction to that particular species versus something else, which, I don't know if they're hermaphroditic like that.
Well, I guess that wouldn't make them genderless. It makes them doubly gendered, right? So just, it makes them more open to more possibilities.
So maybe if their default form is male, then they will find females attractive. And then I suppose when they shift to female, they will then find males attractive, even though they don't actually have sex with anyone.
I guess it depends on their sexual preference, right? Like you could have a male hut attracted to males, I suppose.
Yeah, because sexual preference is not, what do you call it? It's not the definition of your physiology. So.
And it's not touched at all, really, in at least anything beyond heteronormativity touched in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Wow, we were talking about parenting, and we went down the whole huts and sex rabbit hole, so to speak, more like a hut hole. Yes.
And I imagine they only have holes.
Okay, moving on. Okay. Who could forget Zero the Hutt from the Clone Wars cartoon TV show?
Was he the one covered in the tattoos and talked like Truman Capote?
Yeah. He's like related to Jabba somehow.
Right,
and,
his nephew.
Yeah, and however that actually works itself out. Yeah, so... yeah.
Once again, a bad uncle.
You think so? So if your uncle is a big-time crime lord, wouldn't you want to be a crime lord? Like a gangster? There's that.
Bad influence.
Bad influence. Makes you wonder. In the new trilogy with General Hux, with his little, his psychopathy, whatever it is, he's nuts. Hux is nuts.
Yeah.
I want to.
Well, he was the product of his psychopathic father, Brendel Hux.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's what
we
I'm
learned all about him in the Aftermath trilogy.
Tell us about that, because I haven't read the book yet.
He was in charge of the Imperial Academy on Carida, and he was basically raising the next generation of young boys to be brainwashed, insane, psychopathic stormtroopers, and he raised his son the same way.
Nice.
So he basically created the brainwashing program that was then used by the First Order.
And then his son had him killed, according to the Phasma novel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So basically, it's just like boarding school then.
Yeah, I guess if the boarding school is psychotic, sure.
Yeah,
I always thought of the First Order soldiers as like the Lost Boys, the child soldiers in Africa, where they're abducted as small children and raised to be, bloodthirsty soldiers who kill without sympathy.
Yeah, and high on drugs at the same time. Yeah, I can see that. Of course, there's, from Rogue One, of course, Galen Erso and Lyra Erso, who raised Jen Erso, who turned into a criminal person.
Well, I mean, they raised her up until what, she was 6?
Yeah.
8.
And then they got themselves killed, and Saw Gerrera is the one who basically trained Jin to be a criminal.
Yeah, true.
And a terrorist, so...
Yeah. But,
another bad parent figure there.
Like, is there a good parenting figure in the Star Wars universe besides Bail Organa?
Just Chewie.
Chewie. Okay, Chewbacca. Yeah, Mr. Chewbacca, whatever his last name is. Who else is there?
I think that's it. I don't think
Rey's parents.
Yeah. Oh, Rey's parents.
We don't know who they are.
Cocaine.
Yeah, and didn't Rey was been on this desert planet of Jakku, which is horrible, and left to fend for herself.
Yeah.
But
but look how she turned out. She got to be the last Jedi. She got those snazzy books from the tree too.
Right, and I think she's selling them on eBay, if I'm not mistaken. Right. I'm just trying to think of other people, and it's you take. You ever think Yoda and was it Yaddle got together, or what happens with that species?
I don't even want to consider that. That's not something I think about.
Weren't they Kermit's parents?
Wow.
Oh God! If Frank Oz could only be on this show right now. Yeah.
Well, speaking of parenting and people behind the scenes in Star Wars, didn't George Lucas give his kids cameos in the series?
He did.
Yeah.
Yes.
And one of the reasons why he did, because he wanted the kids to be part of the whole Star Wars mythology. And in many ways, he created this world for his kids.
And so, what parts did they play? I think they
Uh,
were just walk-on extras, weren't they?
It was mainly background cameos. In Revenge of the Sith, at the Mon Calamari Water Opera, you see George Lucas dressed up in blue alien makeup as Baron Papa Nemoida, and his daughter Katie Lucas was next to him, and then his son Jet was, I believe, somewhere else. I forget where.
Well, wasn't
I think Jet was
one of the younglings,
the Jedi in the arena battle in Geonosis. He was there for like a split second. I could be wrong about that.
I also thought he was one of the younglings who ended up getting killed by Anakin, but I might be wrong about that.
That could be true. I know he's not the Master Skywalker. There are too many of them person. Oh, now I'm British now. Oh God.
Oh God.
I'm afraid. I'm very afraid, guys.
I'll slip into these things sometimes.
The only other evidence of parenting I can think of offhand in Star Wars right now is all the baby Ewoks. That suggests that some parenting happened.
Yeah. That suggests that they were good. It seemed like, at least from what I remember of the Ewok movies, they were at least decent parents.
Well, there is, of course, The Last Jedi and the gambling place. What's the planet again?
Canto Bite.
Thank you, Canto. I had it in my head, but of course I'm too hungover to think about it. Think of all these stable kids, and growing up in the stables, I can see how that could be lacking in several ways.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, I sort of assumed, given the topic that we'd be covering today, that we'd spend like half of our time talking about Vader and Luke. And we've really barely even touched on that. I guess we're just taking that for granted, that like worst parent ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who, Vader?
Yeah, chopping your kid's hand off, not even knowing that you have a daughter.
Yeah, Anakin.
Well, he has other stuff he has to do. He's a busy guy.
Well, you could at least he's not a helicopter parent. He's just not involved in a kid's life. His kid's life, right?
More of a TIE fighter parent.
Yeah. Well, you think about it. They did 3 whole movies just on the relationship between Anakin and his parents and how it led to him to becoming Darth Vader. And good part of Star Wars is all about that, but not nowadays. That's so 1995-ish, 2005 with the Revenge of the Sith.
Well, I mean, in a way, Star Wars is still about family. It's just, it's kind of more taken on the aspect of the family that you choose rather than the family that you're related to.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, me too.
And I think Disney recognizes that because they are bidding the Galaxy's Edge, the Star Wars line, in both Disneyland and Disney World. So, California Adventure, right? I don't know which park, but it's
they're adding it to Disneyland.
Yeah, so it's interesting how you read this. Of course, stories involves families, and then Disney owns it, and now Disney is investing so much effort and money into the Star Wars properties that they're building theme parks on it to bring for families to go and spend time together. Mm-hmm. On the case of probably me, and I'm probably gonna go by myself because, of course, my girlfriend doesn't like the science fiction or Disney very much. Oh well, moving on. So I choose that. So. Well, guys, any other last things to say?
Yeah, I want to talk about the difference of EU versus Disney canon with Han and Leia's kids.
Oh, by all means.
Jason and Jaina, the twins in the EU.
Weren't they the Wonder Twins?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Zan and Jaina.
I don't know, actually.
Yeah, that's from the Super Friends. My apologies. Before your time, Derek.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I just don't know their names.
Yeah, Zan and Jaina.
Jason and Jaina, they had a hilariously bad upbringing. There were books where they were being raised in isolation by a robot nanny on an asteroid that nobody could get to, including their own parents. It's a wonder they didn't turn out to be worse than they did. And they were constantly being attacked and abducted and kidnapped, and it was hilarious the way they kept putting those little kids in jeopardy over and over again, and how the parents were never there for it.
Well, okay, so they were hidden away in a place that for their own protection. I thought it was kind of a bad idea, but I mean, it's not necessarily relevant anymore anyway. So I guess And yeah, they were getting kidnapped a lot, but they would also, Anakin Solo learned how to fly a planet. So, okay.
I mean, they did learn their lesson, though, because by the time of the Fate of the Jedi, when Han and Leia adopted...
Jason's daughter?
Yeah, what's her name? Crap.
Oh, I don't remember. She
starts
adorable.
with an A.
Yeah, I don't remember, but she was
my
adorable.
God. Well, whatever her name is. When they adopted her, rather than keeping her locked away for safety, they just took her around with them wherever they went. They just all went off in the Falcon together, and sometimes she was in danger, but at least they were together, and I think that was the better way to do it.
Right.
Well, at the risk of getting too philosophical with this topic, stepping back a bit, taking Star Wars as an example of something we see in literature and in sci-fi more generally, why is it, do you think, that we like to depict heroes as people who had no parents or were lacking in parents in some way? I mean, I'm thinking about Batman and Superman and Luke, and pretty much everybody of consequence in Star Wars had a lack of parenting. And is heroism a reaction to this lack of an attachment figure? Why do we see that theme continually reasserting itself in this sort of literature that we all like?
Well, I think you need to have that because you need to create conflict and you need to build needs for the character to project the character forward through the plot. And it's an easy way to say that, hey, so-and-so is screwed up because of screwed up parenting or the lack of parenting. I don't know. It's a very interesting question.
Well, your hero needs hardships to overcome. So if he starts off as a spoiled rich boy who had happy parents and a happy childhood, and everything was given to him on a silver platter, there's nothing interesting about that, and he'd probably just grow up to be a spoiled twit.
Yeah, same for Harry Potter, right? I think it speaks to something in children that if you experience your life as being deficient in some way, as bad in some way, and you fantasize about overcoming this and overcoming your enemies and overcoming whatever deficiencies you have in your life, somehow seeing an orphan child or a child who's been deprived of parenting in some meaningful way rise above that and become a hero will resonate with you as an audience member.
Absolutely, because whose parents are not screwed up in some way, if you have parents.
Yeah. And also every hero needs a tragic backstory to make you feel sympathy for them. So killing the parents is always the easiest thing. Just ask Disney.
And then if their name happens to be Martha, it works into an excellent plot point.
What did you say? Why did you use that name?
Don't say that name.
Okay. So I didn't find that quite as offensive as a lot of other people did. Okay, so it was a one last Hail Mary. I've tried everything else to get through to Batman. Let's try this.
I think Hail Martha is what you were looking for there.
Yes.
I mean, I joke around, but I don't mind it because obviously if he knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne is a famous public figure, so he would know that his mother's name was also Martha, and then he would use that as a ploy to get through to him. So that didn't actually bother me. It's just
plus he's a reporter.
Exactly.
He's going to figure this stuff. He's going to find this stuff out. And I know in Star Trek the books are not considered canon, but there have been at least a couple of novels where Kirk and Spock have used their mother's names to communicate in code so that their adversaries don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, I've gone over to the other side of the other fandom now. So
sorry, I took us off topic there. I'm sure that Anakin's real father's name was Martha.
Lovely. There's also, we forgot one. Now, my favorite guy, of course, is Tarkin, and how his family is of the aristocracy, and how they did these, camping experiences, which was more like a game of survival, and to make sure they have the leadership and survival skills to operate at such a high political level. It's from the book Tarkin. It's actually a really good book in my opinion. Some people find it really boring, but I love it.
We're also forgetting. Because he's been written out of the timeline now. We're also forgetting Ben Skywalker, and I mean, Mara was around for at least the first 10 years, and after that, Luke basically raised Ben by himself.
Yeah.
Oh no! Wait, what is Jason to him? Is that his
Uncle.
uncle? Okay, so
Cousin.
once again
No,
we
they're
have
cousins.
an evil uncle.
No, they're cousins.
Cousin. Okay, once again we have an evil family figure corrupting
Yeah.
the youth.
Yeah.
Now, do you suppose that in order to have children, Admiral Akbar would have to swim upstream?
Well, he's from a water planet. I don't think I'm not sure that he has to necessarily swim up anything.
And his unborn babies become caviar.
Yeah, it's frightening.
Yeah, that's exactly why the Empire occupied Mon Cal.
For the caviar.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds a bit fishy. Notice there's no one I can think of who are, the whole, marrying into a family with someone from a previous marriage, and they have a family, like kids, where in our current society, that's quite common. You go through a divorce, and then you remarry to someone who actually has kids from a different relationship.
Yeah.
Too much real world stuff. We don't want that in our science fiction. What do you guys think?
Well, they haven't come out and said it, but I think with the way the Chuck Wendig trilogy was going, I think that's the way. Wedge's relationship with Nora Wexley was going.
Okay.
But I don't think they actually specifically said that they went anything beyond being just friends.
All right. Okay.
I know he was trying, but then her husband came back from the dead and all that.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, that
Terrible.
sucks.
That sucks. That's a bad day. So.
Yeah.
We have to mention one more parent before we go. Padme and her horrible natal care for children.
Well, she was trying to keep it a secret.
I know, but like you can't like hire a medical droid on your own. I mean, what kind of medical technology exists in the future where she didn't even know that she had twins, and those damn medical robots on Poly's Massa who just say, she gave up the will to live. That always really bothered me. Because with the level of technology that they're in possession of, you think it would be really that hard for her to get an ultrasound on the sly to see that there's two babies in there?
Oh, the Force works in mysterious ways.
I know the plot reason is that Anakin couldn't know that there were two for the Return of the Jedi twist, but it just God, that always really bothered me.
Yeah, maybe it was a Force working, like Carrie said. Who knows?
Or how could Anakin, like Master Jedi, not notice that there's two different life forces in there instead of one?
Well, and this is also something that's kind of been erased from the timeline. But if you go back to the Shadows of the Empire book, there's a point where both Leia and Luke are on Coruscant, and Vader reads that as Luke being the same in two places at once. So like he's reading the same energy, but from two different places, and he doesn't put it together.
That's a good excuse.
So I think what we've agreed is that sci-fi doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
At least when you're trying to
You're
justify
just now figuring
a movie
this
that was
out?
already made 30 years ago.
Yeah,
Hey, do you think Obi-Wan Kenobi actually had kids?
I'm
Well,
not sure.
For the long time, it was rumored that Rey was his daughter or granddaughter, but
Yeah.
I guess not.
And try to figure out how that was supposed to work.
And also in the novel Kenobi, he does kind of have this fledgling romance with this female farmer that could have gone somewhere.
Yeah, but he gives that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he probably did, because I think he wasn't a rule guy, and that sometimes he broke rules, things like attachments.
Do we have evidence that he was heterosexual?
He was in
Yeah,
love
he got
with Satine.
Yeah, that's that's where I was going.
Yeah.
Book stuff.
Well, that's
No,
this was
Rebel-
the
Clone Wars stuff.
cartoon.
Oh, gotcha.
yeah. That's a good thing. Like, is there any gay characters in Star Wars? And if there are gay characters, what do they have families? That's a good question.
And Derek, we don't just mean British.
I don't know. Were there any outwardly gay characters prior to the Aftermath trilogy?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, but
There's
I could
quite a
be
few
wrong.
now in the Disney canon, but they kind of politely ignored that in the old. version.
Okay, so in I want to say it's the Fate of the Jedi series, there's a point where they go to Mandalore, and I think there are two men who are they don't come right out and say it, but they're basically a couple. Mm-hmm. And because Mandalorians apparently just don't care. It's like, okay, good. Yeah, you're mated, you're fine.
Yeah, so it's just like Canadians. Okay.
I wouldn't know, Joel. So.
Okay. Yeah. So in the aftermath, was it Admiral or is it what's the character's name? Sloane, the one who's
Ray Sloane is a lesbian. Although I never noticed the part where they said that. And then there's also Ray Sinjir,
right,
who was male.
Sinjir is amazing. I love Sinjir.
All right. Any last things to say, guys, before we shut the door?
I don't think so.
Close the blast doors. Close the blast doors.
Well, in that case, let's call it. Thanks for listening. Please follow our social media. I do the Twitter page and the Instagram page, and Derek does the Facebook page. Yes, Facebook's still around. We're being attacked by something right now. I don't know. Where's my mommy when I need her? There's that. And what else? Yes, so follow us on Twitter, which is at SciFi Pubcast. We have our network page, which is at Nerds Attack Pods. And send us an email. Tell us how we are doing. Or if you want to have a specific topic, or you want to come and be part of the show. Because, hey, this podcast, if you want to be on a podcast, all you need is Skype and perhaps a better mic. And then come in. And then we'll make it happen. So our email address, which is now working, for the longest time it wasn't working, and that was quite annoying, is management@scifipubcast.space. Carrie, what's your Twitter address?
My Twitter handle is Carrie Blackfire42. That's KERI Blackfire42.
And Derek?
At Derek J. Beebe.
And Randall, what's your Twitter address?
At Randal_Graham.
And I'm at Joel_Welch. That's it, guys. Thanks for listening. It's closing time. Please make it home. We'll see you next time. Bye.
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 Bye, everybody.
Music provided courtesy of Logan Rathbone. Podcast logo by Drew M. Copyrighted Joe Welch. Listen responsibly, and we can't wait for your next visit to our fine establishment. Cheers.